Chief Legal Analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, nice to see you. Good morning. This is something that, we hear that this affects about 20% of the U.S. workforce, including us in this industry. So we've been talking about it a lot, even off the air. But does the FTC, do they have the authority to basically rewrite millions of employment contracts? Because that's kind of what they'd be doing.
That is the question. And so when the case goes before the Supreme Court, typically there is a question that they're asking themselves. And when this ultimately gets to the Supreme Court, that will be the question. Do they have rulemaking authority, not just oversight, but the ability to make rules? And that is in the last 2 or 3 years what the Supreme Court has been systematically doing with all of these agencies. Pick in any alphabet, FTC, ATF, anyone that you want to look at that has attempted to make a rule in the last 5 to 10 years. In the last 2 years, the Supreme Court said, hey, wait a second, do you have ability to do that? Did Congress authorize you to do that? Who makes our laws in this country? Congress is who's supposed to make the laws. And so by you making these rules that's only interpreting laws, have you secondarily created laws. The last couple of times that these issues have come before the Supreme Court, they've rolled back the agency's ability to create laws. But this one right here, we have to slow down because this judge in Pennsylvania only said that they did not have an ability to get an injunction. An injunction, you have to prove that you have irreparable harm. That means that there's no amount of money that can prevent or save you in this situation, and that you're likely to be successful on the merits. The judge said they weren't likely to be successful on the merit, and if you are harmed, money can fix it. So it's not saying that there is a whole win. This is just right now, you don't have an injunction to stop this from coming out.
So September 4th is when all this would go into effect. What does it do for people kind of in limbo until then? Because this wouldn't only be for new contracts saying it can't be in there, but for people with existing non-competes, what does that do for people in limbo until then?
I mean, there's a limbo dance because not only is that case happening, you also had a case in Texas where a judge actually said we're going to put, just for that only case, not holistically, but only for that case, we'll put the FTC's ruling on pause. And so you have a couple of issues there. Going forward, when September comes, I think that it'll be going forward, you'll have no non-competes. And you'll have to wait till this goes through the court. And to a court of appeals at least says across the country, or at least in their region, there will be no non-compete bans. September 4th rules out, they'll have a non-compete ban, and I think that will help employees. Employers that are saying that this will hurt their trade secrets, you can have a non-disclosure agreement to protect any information that a person learns. The non-compete is allowing you to move freely from business to business. It stifles your growth right now, having the inability to say, you know what, I've learned these new skills, I put work in for 2 years, my non-compete was for 3, but I want to move, and now I'm kind of stuck here, and I'm missing opportunities. They're trying to stop that because anytime you stop growth, you stop the economy from growing.
Which side, as an attorney, do you want to be on in this case?
I mean, it's a couple of things. That's a great question. A couple of things. Obviously, as an attorney, I want to be on the folks that's filing the claim.
The winning side, I'm sure you do. I should have known.
You got to think about it. This one's going to go throughout the entire process. And if I have to, play a mind reader for today, I would suggest that, I would say that I can look at this case as going forward, the FTC is doing the right thing.
Okay.
I think everything they're doing is by the book. But you have to look at the climate in the era of our courts. Our Supreme Courts are anti-agency right now. And so ultimately, I think the Court of Appeals rules against the FTC. I think it gets to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court say, no, you guys don't have the ability to do what you're trying to do. They'll say that Congress has the ability to do that. And then what will ultimately happen is once there is a new Supreme Court, maybe 10, 15 years from now, they'll revisit this issue. But in today's climate, no agency that's making any rule will stand a chance in this era, period.
See why
there you go.
Because he gave you the political answer, didn't answer the question where he stood, but gave us a really good answer. That's why we keep Khalif.
It sounded so good as he worked all the way around that question.